Hello, lovely people. I would like us to share something on desperation. There are many people going through this situation right now. Many are going through a lot, of challenges, and desperation is setting in, and desperation has its own effect. So there is no single person on earth who doesn't have a need. The poor, the rich, they all are dying for a particular need. But some people, have psyched themselves in a way that do not allow frustration. Others have been able to learn not to be overwhelmed by situation. Others have mastered that not having it today doesn't mean you will not have it forever. It's just a matter of working at it and having patience. So when one's mind is clouded by desperation for a husband, for a wife, for a child, for love, for happiness, for attention, and many more, this is what happens. See, in psychology, we have something called attention. Let's say I am very attentive, or let's say I have a radio on and there's a television on, and both of them are just on and doing their own thing. And all of a sudden, I hear something on the radio that attracted me. So I send my attention on the radio. At the same time, there was another very important information on the television. But because my attention was on the radio, I mixed the one on television. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is when the mind is attentive on a particular thing, the focus and everything is there. And for that reason, you miss other things. So one thing frustration does is that when your mind is on a particular thing and you are so desperate to have that thing or to let go of that thing, there are a lot of things that you miss. Desperation can make you miss so many things, so many good things. So what happens is, one, you shut yourself from all other good or great things or great people who try to open their arms to you. In desperation, a lot of things go wrong. You go to the wrong places, you meet the wrong people. See, it then becomes like a cascade of negative occurrences or repeated problems. Because when you are desperate and you are meeting the wrong person at the end of the day may act wrong, or may not, your expectation you may not expect what you want from that person, and that becomes a compounded disappointment or compounded frustration. When this happens, that takes me to the third point. It's like it makes your emotions, get the best out of you, because you are getting disappointed, you are getting frustrated, and your emotions just keep rising. Everything around you seems to be the problems, seems to be the cause of your desperation or the cause of your predicament. So everyone around you becomes like you don't even want to hear anything. You don't want to listen to anybody. Everybody becomes like the cause of your problem. So there is distance between you and your friends. There's distance between you and your family. You don't want to talk to them. They become like your problem. So in desperation, when your needs are not met right, inclusive of frustrations and disappointment, your mind starts to believe that there are witches causing your predicaments as well. So before you know it, Either you drive yourself or you are driven, by friends in, such same situation. To oracles to help you solve this desperation or this problem of yours. But at the end of the day, they end up compounding it instead of solving it for you. So it becomes, a cascade of repeated, negative events in your life. My sister, my brother, my parents, God has blessed you with many things, but unfortunately, you are not enjoying them. Why do I say this? You may have a good husband taking care of you. You may have a good work that is paying you good money. You may have your children. You may have good friends. But that particular iPhone, the latest iPhone that you do not have, becomes a big problem, that you forget the good husband, you forget the good, the nice children you have, the good friends you have. Your whole mind becomes so clouded, on getting the latest iPhone, and because of that, it puts you in a very uncomfortable situation. So ideally, the life you are supposed to enjoy, desperation for an iPhone, I'm just using that as an example. It could be a child, it could be a husband, it could be a wife, it could be anything that you desperately need. So your need for that current, latest iPhone, has clouded your mind so much that you've forgotten about all the other good things in your life. So instead of enjoying them, they becomes like a curse now, because there is no happiness in you. So my dear, no one can remove this cloud or this pressure you are putting on yourself until you start becoming aware of this very thing. You have to start being conscious of your situation. Why are you unhappy? Why are you what is putting you in bondage? What is putting you in captivity? Why are you not seeing the goodies that is going on around you? But your mind is so focused on one thing that you are not getting, or a problem that is not being solved, that you've forgotten all the other good things in your life. On the second thought, perhaps pressure might be coming from somewhere. Pressure to have a girl child, pressure to have a boy child, pressure from relatives, pressure to get married. There's so many things, that the society or relatives or friends can put pressure on. So maybe you feel pressured, and for that reason, your mind has become so clouded and desperate for that very thing that you've forgotten all the other good things that you have. But my sister, you see, there is something you can do for yourself. See, no one can take the desperation out of you. But with the knowledge being received today, you can start working on yourself. You can start working on your mind. There are things, a lot of things you hear, because our ears are open to every information. So you will hear stuff, you will see stuff, you will see, people gossiping about you because of something you don't have. You will see a whole lot of, you will hear a lot of things, you will see a lot of, body languages, facial expressions that to you might be talking to you, but maybe may not really be talking to you. But because of your desperation for something, you feel the whole world is against you. The whole world is talking about you. My sister, they are not talking about you. It's just in your mind. Your mind is just playing tricks on you. They may be talking about you, that is true. But the thing is, you will hear, you continue to see, and you continue to feel. You cannot block your ears, you cannot block your eyes, you cannot, control the way you feel. But what you can do is that you can build an internal strength that, shield you from all these negative occurrences or messages that you are hearing on the outside. Hear them, see them, feel them, but don't let it enter you, enter your heart. that it start to ruin you. No. Build yourself. You see, build that internal resilience that at the end of the day, the things you hear or see or feel are not going to enter into you to take hold of your heart. And at the end of the day, you become so, you find yourself in bondage and it starts ruining your life. That is where the danger is. When your desperation, it goes to the extent of entering you so much that it starts ruling your life. That becomes a big problem. There are things that are good in your life. There are many things you have achieved. Maybe you are not thinking about them. So every day I will encourage you to count the things that you have and compare them to the things that you don't have. And when you are done, look around you, the kind of lifestyle other people are going through, and now compare what you have to them. Then you realize that you have been blessed. There is no need for you to be desperate. You see, God will always provide when the time is due. But in desperation, when the time is due, you may not even see the signs for you to grab what you need. That is the danger of it all. You will be chasing the wrong things, the wrong people, that when the right people are passing, you may not even see them. So that's the bad side of desperation. Very bad side of desperation. The answer is just around you, but your focus and your attention is on another thing that is not the right thing, that you are missing the right ones. So clouding your mind in desperation is the worst thing you can do, for yourself. I believe that I am strongly talking to somebody today. Channel your desperation into something positive and derive happiness from it. The best thing is to, psych your mind and stay calm. When you are calm and your mind is calm, you are able to make the right decisions. The people that come, you make the right decisions. Your mind will be so free that if it's a child you want, you can make love with your husband freely without being tense, without being desperate. As you are making love with your husband or your wife, you are already tense. Am I going to get pregnant? Would I get pregnant? In that kind of state, the child will not even come. In that kind of desperation and pressure and being so tensed about it, conception cannot even take place. So my sister, my brother, relax yourself and let happiness take the lead. It's not an easy thing, but when you put your mind to it, you realize that it's going to be easy for you. And before you know it, the answer that you need will just come unexpectedly. Your request will be granted in hopefulness, in contentedness, and in being optimistic. In these three things, take note of them. When you are hopeful, not when you are depressed. When you need the right answers, when you are hopeful, the answers will come. When you are very contented, the answers will come. And when you are very optimistic, the answer you need, the problem you need to take away, will be taken away. Your request will be answered when you find yourself in these three things, not in desperation. I need you to ponder over these two things. The blessing comes when we least expect it. Blessings, it comes when we least expect it. When you are not so desperate for it, then it is coming. Just come, just like that. Secondly, in desperation, you are always attracted to the wrong things and to the wrong people. Never forget that. In desperation, you are always attracted to the wrong things, the wrong people, the wrong, etc. Formatting and rebuilding the African mind. I am the Guardian.